lot of people wouldn't normally go to galleries or come here. They feel more comfortable in the open air, but it's a great event to get the kids out here.
It's been great to see reactions of not just the people to my piece, but people to other pieces, and it's also been inspirational to see how people have actually got in the public, got in behind it and drawn such a crowd. It was a much bigger crowd than I was really anticipating, which was really supportive. It was good.
It's quite intriguing. It's stimulating a lot of thought because people are having arguments, what's real, what's not real, and they just like the concept. And they think, oh, artists are so creative, how do they come up with these ideas?
It's easy to access, it's in a great spot. It's a spot that people come to already. And yeah, I just think it's awesome. It's a great festival.
Any tool that you have practically that you work with to sculpt with, you can have a digital version of it. From digital, we would then send those files to our big 5-axis mill, which then cuts all the pieces. We then assemble everything like a big 3D jigsaw puzzle. A lot of fiberglass work goes into making these particular molds. So you have to be absolutely certain that the mold you're making perfectly captures the sculpture, so that when you come time to pull your fiberglass piece out of this mold, you know that it's all absolutely perfect. The first time we saw what it would look like on the beach in sunlight was exactly what we had planned it to be.
My name's Cam Smith. The name of the piece is called A Story from the Beach. It's basically meant to be a bit of a mind bender. The colours on this side, the whole side of the site was actually meant to be very 1970s. And as you walk past, it was to play with your mind and see what had happened to the car. Okay, this side of the car is meant to depict a vehicle or an object that's basically served its time, its purpose. It's been relegated to a shed. It's going to spend its days in an old shed, basically abandoned and forgotten. And the inspiration behind it was from my 3-year-old son, and he wanted to see it fixed, but obviously we ran out of funds halfway. But
My name's Dave Walsh. This is my piece and it's called Just Walking. It's about sort of fashion and trends and body image. Having a trendy dog, they sort of fit together quite nicely, I think, being both rather slim. You know, the kids always come running straight up to the front of the dog, which is great. I really love seeing that. You know, that's great. That was the idea.
It's a fun piece. It's a sort of a human face shape, and the two hands coming out like in a gesture of hi, or how's it going? Or I feel the public are enjoying the piece. A lot of children certainly seem to enjoy climbing on it, and especially putting their head and looking through the hole, which is supposed to be the eyepiece here. The interaction with the public has been really good.
This work is called Your Universe Breath. The breath is evidenced through the woven fabric. A lot of people like getting on the other side of it and getting their photo taken. It gives you a sort of a fractured view, you might say, of the universe through all the different holes. So you get all these different captured scenes.
My sculpture is a family of dogs. I wanted to highlight the idea of the family of dogs taking a stroll on the beach, and I think this is an appropriate setting. This is Gus. As you can see, he's obviously the child of the family, as it were. These guys, with their colour, just stand out, and people are quite attracted to them, particularly the children who want to dart in and out, and on a couple of occasions they've actually climbed on top of Gus and had a good time with him. My sculptures are actually dogs, and of course they do have a pointy snout. We've had a number of comments that they are chickens, and just a few moments ago somebody referred to them as ducks. So they're quite unique, and everybody has a different interpretation of what the sculpture is, and that's okay.
This is my stone sculpture. It's made out of Helidon sandstone. It's called Swoop. What I've tried to do is make it so that the kids can have a go, and then trying to find all the creatures as well. I've carved a few, like the crab, the starfish, lobster.
School of fish.
School of fish, well done. Cane shell. I don't have to say anything, you guys are. That's cool. That's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see all the kids just having a go with all the different animals and then sitting on it. It's fantastic. And then just seeing the people's faces light up when they see it, I think it's, yeah, I love that idea.
It was just basically the sand, we're at the beach, and where could I go from there and sandwich? Basically it's made from hundreds of pieces of recycled styrofoam. The ants were a bit of an afterthought. It needed a bit of activity, it needed a bit of action. These are just little casters off old furniture, bits of coat hanger wire, literally whatever I could do to try and avoid waste. Well, the best thing about it is it's very popular with the kids. It's just a bit of fun. It's just a cheese, tomato, lettuce, bacon with a bit of mayonnaise.
So you take handfuls, start from the top to the bottom.
Frederick's one of the artists here at the SWELL Sculpture Festival, and he's held masterclasses this year, which are absolutely amazing to actually get into the experience of sculpture. So it's body casting.
My name's Andrew Cullen. This is my piece Dune Grass. It's a celebration of architecture and modern construction methods that bring us places like Surfers Paradise. I was inspired by the actual dune grass and the way that it juts out of the sand and it builds and grows and tries to reclaim, and we as human beings do something very similar. We try to get as close to the beach as we possibly can. I wanted it to contrast against the colour of the sand, which is a very bland colour. So I've chosen a street art veneer with a lot of colour involved in it. And I also want the structure itself to be seen backdropped by the city that it reflects.
My name's Simon Poole. This is my installation entitled Delusions of Suburbia. This is a wry look at suburbia and how when we purchase our quarter-acre block, we realise eventually that it's not just on show for everyone else, it's also here because we're trapped by suburbia. Might as well look in the letterbox for, yes, another bill.
My name is Adrian Vanderloot, and the name of the piece is Fish Scales. It's two full chromatic scales. That's the white keys on the piano. And then there's three notes at the end here, that chord of C, E, G. I had a musician friend come along who we tuned it with her piano by setting up the piano and varying the tones. Here's these little kids coming along and making music. This may be the first time that they've played music in their whole lives, and who knows what kind of a big step this is in their whole life of one day perhaps being a musician or else appreciating music a little bit more. Here's one, you can back with that.
This piece is called Where the River Meets the Sea, and it came about because we were fortunate enough to come across a rowing club in Brisbane that wanted to use some of their retired rowing sculls and do something interesting with them, turn them into something else and try and find some way to put them back into circulation. Besides the fact that we throw so much stuff out into our rivers and it becomes waste, we also use a lot of new stuff, a lot of new material that doesn't need to be used, and it's one of our biggest environmental problems, the fact that we're constantly digging up new material when there's plenty of beautiful scraps that we can use to do other things with.
This is my piece, School. It's water jet cut aluminium. The idea with this piece is a reference to the dynamic organism that is a school of fish. All the fish acting together rather than as individuals creates the illusion of one organism. Something I was trying to achieve in this piece was the light play as you get off fish when they're moving through the ocean and changing directions. One of the interesting things happened this year was they lit my piece at night, which just gave me a whole new dynamic with all the colours. And during the day, I mean, when you get a strong sunlight on it, you really get a big flash at certain angles, and I think it adds to the movement of the piece.
My name is Scott Maxwell, I'm an artist, and this is called Excess Baggage. As you can see, they're pretty heavy because they're made of granite, rock, marble, concrete, hebel. Some are real, some are just rocks with bling. People come to the Gold Coast because it's a holiday destination, and they tend to buy too much rubbish. They cram it in their luggage, and when they're on the carousel they get charged excess baggage. It's stimulating a lot of thought because people are having arguments what's real, what's not real, and they just like the concept.
We're from Cloncurry State School. We've been invited down by the SWELL Sculpture Festival. They're just getting exposure to a different kind of culture, so a bit of art, expose them to. A lot of them haven't even been to the ocean before, so it's just exposing them to see what else is outside Cloncurry.
Well, today has been another workshop on the AB at the Sea, which is a native bee installation made by the local children and some children from Cloncurry, where each child has made a beautiful bee. They took the materials, and everyone had the same, which was a velvet body bag filled with sand, and wrapped it with silver tie wire, and then fashioned the wings out of beautiful copper wire and threaded beads and other mementos through the wings, and then added as a final accessory, if they felt like it, a pair of antennas. Every single bee has its own personality, and when you actually look at each and every bee on the wall, those personalities come through, so it's pretty special.